How about that big beautiful bill? And we're back.
Oh, howdy.
Welcome to the 4 o'clock shadow, everyone. Dr. Mask Retro Elixir was sprinkled with Scarlet. He's changed his name, but that's the name of his new comic that deals with the works of Edgar Allan Poe. And I would say comic book aficionado. So a couple of days ago, I was trying to explain before the show, Dr. Mask, we focused on Gil Kane for an episode and kind of looked at some of Gil Kane's stuff. Great artists from the 1940s to the 1990s. And today I thought we'd look at another creator here in a minute, John Byrne, and start a new Focus Friday, Focus on Friday, or Feature Friday, rather, featuring a comic book artist a week. And I could think of no one better to have on than you, Dr. Mask. Hey, Carrie.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I know. I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel. But, yeah, I know, right? Her eyes are bugging out. Carrie in the house. We have an Omer glitch, unfortunately. We have a Gabe Penny shot, fortunately. We have a Ryan James, fortunately, Mr. Octagon. I think Spaz likes your name, Octagon. I had to explain that to her. Yeah. Kind of like Shadowhawk. This is not really Shadowhawk's real name. And if you look at his icon there, Spaz, his daughter, who was 23 at the time, designed that.
Very pretty.
Very pretty, she says.
Well, thank you.
Everybody say hi to Shadowhawk. Hi, Shadowhawk.
Hello, Mr. Shadowhawk.
Howdy.
And Mrs. Shadowhawk. Yeah, has Mrs. Shadowhawk got back in the house yet?
Nah, she's working her later shift tonight. She don't get home until about 7:30.
That'd be hot coffee. Whoa! Great thing of waking up is poachers in your cup. That is a
no, I came home and got here early and still managed to almost be late for the show because my youngest daughter, being her dramatic self and not realizing that the school keeps track of everything you do while you're on their system at the school,
on their radar,
sent a message to one of her friends about how much she hates this one new teacher she's having issues with, and that she wants to pound her head off the desk and then slice her own wrist open with her pencil.
Wow.
Yeah. So
no, that was poetry. That was poetry.
Well, I appreciate my daughter's dark sense of humor, but I've told her to be very careful what you do at school. So on my way home, my older daughter calls me and says, "Hey, the cops are here and they want to talk to you." So I got to come home from work and spend 20 minutes of my day talking to the police and then having my daughter come off the bus and have them explain herself to them. Then I got to talk to the school security guy, the head of security there. He came down to see me too. It's just been an exciting day so far. And of course, she had no
Lovely
intention
day.
of self-harming or anything. She just really doesn't like this teacher, and she's, being a smart ass. And
Did you tell
now,
him that she was going through her phone thing?
oh yeah, they even
Her
showed her the message.
phase? Oh, sorry. Hold
I
on.
can't tell my audio. Am I coming through?
Yeah, it's just Spaz is in the car on the travel. Don't know
Oh,
where.
okay. Sorry,
I'm
I
not
had a
hearing
call
knocking
coming
my
up.
door. She's over there. She's closer than you, Shadowhawk, than she is to
But
me.
anyway, yeah, apparently they have they got some kind of device or whatever that shuts down cell phones when the kids are in school. So
Oh,
she was
cool.
actually
That's
on her
long
school laptop
overdue.
using the school.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but she was using the school laptop, the school system, to send this message to her friend. So of course it got flagged, and just caused it. So now I don't know what's going on. She's got to stay home on Monday until they call us, and we'll have to bring her to school. She's probably going to have to talk to counselors and all kinds of stuff. So
Round them up. Round them up. Just saying.
this child is giving me more and more gray hairs every day.
Yeah. Join the club.
Too late for you, Rick.
Too late for me. I never made it without biting. Ask Mr. Howell. So anyway, before we lose Dr. Mask, I think he's watched enough of the shows that he knows how lame we are around here. Maybe not.
I was watching you and Doc earlier.
Oh yeah. How was it?
Echo.
Was it good for you? Were you getting a pain in the neck? Yeah. I think it was a good show. It's always good to have someone to play off of. I've been using Shadowhawk for a backdrop for a long time. He's starting to look like a racquetball wall at this point. More or maybe like dodgeball. I occasionally I'll show throw him a softball, but most of the time he's hard hitting, and busy beating me over the head with whatever he's got to say for the day.
I'm just glad it's not the wrenches anymore. You can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Getting a little bit of an echo. I don't know.
Are we? I mean, I'm not really hearing it, but
I'm echoing like crazy on my end. But I don't know.
Are you?
It's me or what?
I just put my headphones in, but that didn't seem to do anything.
I think it has his mic, and it's like sounds like underwater, like Dr. Master.
I'm gonna pop out
a little bit.
And make sure it's not me.
Hold on.
Okay, try that. I bet you we still have the water sound. Okay, now she muted, and we don't have the water sound. See?
Is it any better, guys?
I told you to take those water pills or whatever. What do you take water pills for? To take water off your body, right? Is that right? So, Dr. Mass, before we get into the fray of things, tell us a little bit about your comic that's coming out. You got a contest.
Yep. You were so excited about that contest. I made sure I put it out there again on X. But but yeah, it's a 28-page comic, which features scenes from Edgar Allan Poe, some of his stories you've heard of, some of them you haven't. It's going to be in black, white, and red, and it's scenes. It's going to be scenes from Edgar Allan Poe's stories, so done by numerous artists. The book is about 90% done. We're having a contest to see who gets the last spot in the book, which will be the inside back cover, and that's about it, I guess. That's the basics. Basics anyway.
Very first time. Now, I don't know that I asked you this when you were here the other day. Your character here, which is part of the contest.
Yep.
Now, is he going to be kind of like a moderator that kind of leads you into each story, almost like the Watcher and What If stories?
Yeah, he's going to be. Yeah, I would say more like the mysterious traveler. Um, those Charlton books where the host would actually show up during the stories and stuff too. I really thought that was cool.
Or
So he's
DC
kind
with
of.
Cain and Abel.
Yep.
Yep.
Um, so yeah, he there. This book has a sequential prologue and a sequential epilogue, and then throughout the book he will appear. He will appear in each one of the stories. So, but it's so hard to explain. I have to come up with a better pitch, I guess. But
Yeah,
but if
we got to work on that.
but
You're supposed to be the boxer, not the punching bag,
yeah,
or the punch. You know, the punch line.
yeah. I feel like the one page I have kind of I showed the two interior pages. I feel like that tells the story better than me, but
yeah. Well, definitely. No,
I don't know.
I'm joking. Okay.
I don't know if you want to share it again or not, but
oh, sure. Yeah. Now I don't have it at my fingertip, so if you want to drop it in the private chat,
I just shared it.
Okay. I did want to show this chair. I sent this to Ryan because he's into all things aquatic with his Octagon comics. Pretty neat chair from like the late 1800s.
Wow.
Isn't that wild?
That is crazy.
That's wild looking. Yeah, I thought I know somebody that'll appreciate that piece of kindling wood. Okay, so here we go, and let me. That's all right. You're down there. All right, here we go. Yeah. All right. So what are we looking at, Dr.
So
Brown?
this is Preston Acevedo. Yep. He did the artwork. Dave Kemp did the Reds, and that's basically what it's going to be. It's gonna have an excerpt from the story and then an illustration of the story. I didn't want to do a straight up adaptation because I feel like there's thousands of them out there.
Yeah,
and not just comic form, but in all different forms. So, and I've probably listened to or seen most of them. So, so yeah, and then in every one of these, you'll find Dr. Mask. It's kind of almost like a Where's Waldo type thing.
I like that. You know, I've got a couple of characters, the seer, the bystander, that are kind of fill into that. Now they will be into stories like heroes or beings within that universe, but a lot of it, you know, it's good to have a narrator character that the reader can kind of follow along with, I think.
Yep.
And yours is very compelling. When I saw that one piece, it just blew me away with your character a couple months ago. And I said, wow, you know, do you have a comic? You know, I said, do you have something in the works? Because this looks amazing, you know, just for
that was the one by Elliot. Yeah. Elliot Rodriguez. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Elliot, he nailed it, man. Great, you know, beautiful. He's done Omer's character, the Glitch, you know, beautifully. And he's just got his own project right now. Funding.
Yep.
And we'll probably be fulfilling here fairly soon because I think it's just about all done. We've had him on talking about it. Marcus Killigrew in the house.
I think he just did a brief 10-day extension or something. So I think you could still get out there and back it. But after that, I think he's into fulfillment mode.
Just waiting to see
Spasm. Sorry. Edwin Buzz Azevedo in the house. Hey, Edwin.
Yeah, he needs to learn how to spell Preston.
Yeah, he's only spelling
Preston's the easy part.
Edwin's a sweetheart, and maybe I shouldn't put it that way because he's one of the manliest men I know. You know, but we'll get into it here in a minute. I did want to show a few other things. Your comic has and you something I enjoy is that you um I have to kick her. At least that one. Maybe it'll kick her. Anyway. Um that you share golden age, silver age, bronze age, I don't know, maybe even some modern age books. Uh
Yep.
and I really enjoy that because it shows your appreciation. And these aren't necessarily books from your collection. Where do you find that? Where do you find your books and your information to post those things daily? I think you post them daily, don't you?
Yep.
On an
Yep.
X.
Pretty much every day for a
Mm-hmm.
number of years now. But yeah, I was using Digital Comic Museum, which I still like. The problem is their site is just painfully slow at times.
Uh,
So I've discovered Comic Book Plus, which works really well. And they have most of the same stuff. And then comics.org for some of the information on the comics and stuff. But when I post, generally I get up in the morning and I have no idea what I'm going to post. I just look
mhm.
and feel whatever mood I'm in and whatever
Yeah.
and I just find something. I'm like, yep, that's like
Now,
today.
have you come across something that said, "Wow, I need to add that to my collection"? If my bank account will, you know.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
assume my bank account won't because most of it's golden age,
Yeah.
um but yeah, it's the kind of thing if I see it, I would grab it
Well,
if I have
why
a reasonable
focus
price.
on the golden age for primarily? Now, I've seen you
Yeah,
post some stuff from the Bronze Age and other eras, but primarily the golden age. Why the golden age?
probably because I'm most fascinated with it because it's something like as a kid when I stumbled upon golden age, I kind of poo-pooed it, kind of like, oh, it's not that good, the artwork's
Hmm.
not as good as, whatever Jim
Hmm.
Aparo or, you know,
Right.
whatever. So, but then as I grew older, I got an appreciation for all of it, and I'm still discovering stuff, and I think that's what I love about comics so much is that I'm always discovering new things. It's crazy.
And welcome to LV, Mike Walters in the chat. Hail,
Hey,
hail,
Mike.
guys. Marcus,
Hey, Elsie.
good to see you.
Marcus says I have 4 romance comics already. They're all saved in my Pinterest. Uh, say it 3 times, he
Nice.
might appear. Hey, it works.
He's just waiting for the the wave of romance to come back around. We got the westerns going
Yeah,
on right now, so
I'm telling you, it's such a missed opportunity.
I
But
know I had Phil Diaz in the earlier stream, and I said he doesn't want to come on here because we've never been able to get him on. Him and his brother or whatever. And getting both
right.
of them on is tantamount to a miracle. I think the last time when we finally had it set up to have both of them on, their mother had a birthday or something. I don't know I don't know what it was, and he said, "No, I want to come on and promote my new Western." I'm like, "Hey, you bet, because I want to ask him my pat answer. Why do you think the resurgence of of I mean, I don't think I've ever seen. Maybe I wasn't around in the 50s when they were all over TV and so big, and 60s. I mean, I don't. But in my lifetime, I don't think I've seen westerns this popular, or at least people dipping their toe in to it in the crowdfunding scene to use it as a vehicle to tell a story.
yeah,
And
I think it's just something that's been lacking for so long. I think there's definitely people that are
yeah,
maybe a little nostalgic for it or whatever. But I mean,
yeah.
it's such a cool way to tell a story. I mean, a
Well,
good
I say
western.
retro is coming back in, I think,
Yep.
for a good long while. I think
Yeah,
there'll be some
everything
nostalgic
kind of
things.
goes in cycles. You'll have
Mm.
Well, where
vampires
did it
come back,
cycle? Back in the
werewolves.
50s, though?
It,
That's my question.
but pretty much, yeah, it started like back early in the movies and the comic books.
I
Like
mean,
you
Okay,
get a
so
few
it took
years
like
of where
60
everybody's
years
doing,
for it to
this,
come back around?
sci-fi or whatever, and then all of a sudden,
Hmm.
you know, the tastes
Yeah.
of the consumer change, and they start leaning into horror. So then you get a bunch of horror books. You
Oh,
know,
I
and-
get it. And I think maybe the Marvel movies have probably destroyed the superhero market to a certain degree, you know,
yeah,
because they're
unfortunately,
so
their last,
abysmal. There
their
she
last
is,
5
Miss
years or so.
America.
Oh, come on, Dave. What are you doing? My dog's tearing things up over here.
Oh,
Good
you
Lord.
need to show Spaz your baby. I don't think she's ever seen. And she said, "What?" Yeah,
Who,
I
Daisy?
don't think she's ever
Come here,
seen
Daisy.
Daisy
Come
or
here, sweetie.
Cloudy, your cat, because he has
Sit, now,
a
come here.
beautiful
Look at that.
sort of
Come here. Sit
calico,
down.
dark
Look at, sit
brindle
down.
cat
Sit.
that's
All right. Look at
likes
Dad.
to gnaw on his. Look at Dad.
Look at Dad.
Oh,
There's a baby.
oh,
Oh,
and
There's a
she
dear.
jumped out just
Right.
when Daisy
That's
came
my
on.
baby Daisy.
what a
Yeah.
kitty.
She's such a good girl.
Now, who wouldn't want to come home to that?
She's
Wow,
my sweetheart.
Daisy's got a mustache. I never knew that.
Yeah, she's got a little bit of a stash going on. Probably gonna turn white when she gets older.
Yeah.
But
Oh, wait,
yeah,
Spaz is
she's
coming
a
back.
good girl.
She'll be able to see the baby. Wait a minute. Turn that back on. Do it.
Oh, shoot, hold on. Stay right here, Dave.
Yeah.
She's there you go.
Oh, yeah. You should see her face. She's like, oh,
baby.
so pretty.
Oh, I don't have my camera mirrored, so I'm having a
Yeah,
problem.
I never knew that.
Okay.
Daisy had a mustache. That's wild. She's got hair all over her body. I don't know why that would be surprising to me.
Well, the surprising thing is underneath all that almost white fur, she's pink and black like a polar bear underneath all
Oh,
that
yeah.
fur.
Well, I mean, my dog looks like a Dalmatian. She's pink and black too.
Is she? Okay, yeah. It's so weird.
Yeah.
When they shaved
I'll
her
have
belly
to,
to
when
do
I get her
her
up here again, I'll have to show her belly. It's speckled. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I didn't know until we took her to get spayed, you know, and she come home and I was like, holy shit, look at this. She's like a polar bear.
Yeah. Jack Russell, you know, I think she's pretty and I've never seen her. I think maybe when she dies, I'll have her sort of mow the hair off her corpse so that I can see what her skin looks like.
Yo.
You know, just to see the pattern. It takes you're
Lord,
muted,
that's-
Spaz, so it doesn't matter what I say.
That's
You know,
a little
you
morbid.
can go off and, you know, why would you do that? You know, she's not going to feel it, you know, and I love her. Loser. What was that? Saw that.
Oh, thank you, Carrie.
You know,
Daisy,
that's
actually, I submitted her picture. She's going to be coming out in a calendar for next year called Paw Prints. So if you guys see Paw Prints on the internet, and I'm not sure what month she's going to be at, but she's going to be featured in a calendar next year.
wow. That's big news. Okay. So, Dr. Mask, I'm really surprised that you haven't hit up. Whoa, wait a minute. You got to take that down so I can share.
Okay. Hold
Sorry
on
about
a
that.
second.
Yeah, StreamYard's all jacked up lately.
Yeah, because if I kick it, I'll kick him, and we don't want to do that.
Right, yeah. I know.
Huh.
You know, we've given people the slow roll down the stairs, but
Hey, you give them the choice, right? You got the window or the stairs.
Doesn't seem to give me an option. I got share screen. Let me just.
he's begging me to kick him. He's saying,
If that's what works.
I can't find it. I've got it up, and now I can't get it down. Oh,
Oh. You know, after 4 hours, you're going to have to see a doctor.
That's right.
right.
I've
That's
seen
what
those
they say.
commercials.
I know. I'm just like so envious. I would like to try that.
It doesn't.
Just
It
once.
doesn't show me as sharing right now. It just says share screen, image file, video.
I want to see if Spaz can turn red. That's all.
First time I saw one of
know
those
I can.
commercials, like,
If
I
I can
told the
say
wife,
hello,
if I've
I
got a-
turn red, you know, because I've got no complexion. I do like your hair color, Spaz, by the way. It's you know, looks a little bit more gingery or something. I don't know. You're more now. Yeah. Oh, look, she went off, which is tantamount
you're
to
embarrassing
normal
her,
for
bro.
her. She goes off all the time. Okay, I'm going to attempt this. You asked for it, Dr. Mask. But
Yep.
please come back
Whatever.
if I do. Here we go. Kick guest.
Oh,
That
dang
was
it,
a lot
he's
of fun.
gone.
I wish I got to do it more often. Don't give me this, lady. I'll loser me. I'll yeah. She's like a mad Italian woman. That's what I look at her.
Pasta Pazul.
And your children too. Putting a curse on me. Oh me.
Papa yours.
And Ryan's out there. Woo, 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 woo. Do it again. Oh, look, she's got the pine tree hanging. Why this hatred towards pine trees?
I have no idea.
Look, got the babies.
Although it
in the
looks
back.
ridiculous
Okay,
when people have like 100 of them hanging there.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. I had fun doing it.
I was like, Walter, not you.
So there you go. Boris Karloff, Tales of Mystery. This is
Nice.
This is not John Byrne, but it is a fun comic, right? You got the rocket and the sort of transformation into a monster, and the host up there. Why don't you feature more stuff like this? I'm not advocating for it. Is it just that Golden Age is more your jam than Silver Age stuff like this?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with this stuff. I love this stuff too. It's just what I've been doing. I'm sure eventually, like I know, like there's been certain months, like there was one where I was doing patriotic covers for the month of July, and
oh yeah, there you go.
I ended up showing some Silver Age and Modern Age comics for that month. It just depends. And sometimes I'll just get tired. I'll be like, you know what? I'd really like to see some 70s, whatever, So
yeah,
right.
Yeah. Now 32 pages of X-Men Elsewhere. Barely heard about it for the last year or so. That John Byrne had done some Elsewhere stories of X-Men and continued to do them online, and now they're being compiled by Marvel and going to be printed into 3 volumes next year. Can't wait for that.
About time.
Yeah, and
I can't wait to read those.
I can't either. That's high on my list. I don't think I've been this excited about Marvel anything in a very long time.
This will be the first thing I bought from Marvel in 28 years.
Wow.
Best ever. Ryan really enjoyed me kicking you a little bit too much, I would say. Okay. Now, before we get started on John Byrne and looking at some of his work, because Spaz probably doesn't know who John Byrne is, and that's one reason I wanted to have her on. Only one reason, but I found it. I'm trying to be funny here. Don't give me
so good to our guests.
Eyed, with the glasses on, it's like 4. Look at it. You're driving. Don't do that. Now, if you got in a wreck, one time I wrecked her laptop with one of my comments. So words kill, folks. Yeah, she's going true story. I got her so upset she wrecked her a laptop. Okay. Yeah, we don't want to hear that. Here we go. So this is Bruce Timm. I wanted to show this. This is a particularly nice piece.
Nice.
Shadow Lass from the Legion of Superheroes. Do you like that, Shadowhawk? Because I know you're not the greatest Bruce Timm fan.
Again, like I said, as long as he doesn't go too cartoony on the face, I like Bruce Timm stuff.
Well, this is all cartoon.
I don't like it, but
this is all cartoon, I would say.
All right, I'm hearing it. My chat. What's going on?
Okay. Well, I don't hear anything on our end, but sometimes your device gives you feedback.
Yeah, I do hear an echo from Shadowhawk at times.
Oh, okay. Just like I have.
Did you say yes, Dr.
You're muted, right, Spaz? Or is you just doing? Oh, she's giving me sign language. Okay. We'll wait till he gets back. We can ham it up till then.
No, don't wait. I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette in between.
No, okay. All right. Well, I was going to start off with a great X-Men.
I'll be watching. Don't worry.
Night Girl from Legion. Not Night Girl. It's not Night Girl. Where'd you come up with Night Girl? It's Shadow. Oh, no, you're right. It is not. Maybe it is Night Girl. I don't know anymore. Who was that, Dr. Matt?
No, I think there was a Night Girl too, but that's Shadowless.
Damn this phone.
That's Shadow Last. Okay, I'm not going crazy. Thank you.
Oh,
Some validation. I can go to bed tonight and sleep well. We'll probably have a draw stream later tonight if Spaz wants to join us again, and maybe Ryan and Marcus or anybody. I don't know. Marcus' schedule, I never know. So, but it would not be nice to get Marcus on here and draw. I need to get some more drawing on, and I have a long weekend. And if I had any money, I'd go see some friends. But what is conservative? Yes, I don't know what that is. Shadow Last. I remember now. Yeah, Night Girl. Now, wasn't Night Girl? She was part of the Legion of Substitute Heroes.
Yep, she was.
And her superpowers, which were kind of like super strength and stuff, only came out at night.
Yep.
In the daytime, she was a helpless young female. That
I guess.
I'm old enough I can say that, damn it. I'm not getting any laid anytime soon anyway. Anyway, I'm thoroughly embarrassed. Yeah, whoa. So, okay, our first here is Uncanny X-Men from John Byrne. Might as well start with a banger, right? For you Wolverine fans out there, this has got to be one of the best. Now, Dr. Mask, how do you think a cover like this will hold up in, say, well, it's been about, I guess, over about 45 years, almost 50 years old, which is amazing that it's, that old already. But how do you think in 100 years this will be seen?
It's tough to say, but if it's a great cover, it's a great cover as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm. Is this a great cover?
Well, yeah, I think so. It tells a story.
Good one. I would hate to kick you again. Anyway, okay. So then he goes more with this whole series of Sensational She-Hulk, goes all glam girl with it. Did you get any of these and enjoy this run?
I've read some of them. I don't think I read it regularly, but
it was kind of hamming up, wasn't it? It was kind of tongue in cheek. Of course, he worked for DC as well. Look at that crowd scene. Now, if there is a weak point with Byrne, I would say he couldn't draw children that well. They looked a little chubby. It looked a little, but now like Nick Hardy, he could draw some, and Neil Adams, of course, could draw some great children, because drawing children is a little bit different than drawing adult figures, right?
Yep.
Do you have a particular John Byrne piece that you enjoy, Dr. Mask, or a particular body of work that that he did that you really enjoy?
Boy, I'm trying to think. Obviously, I always talk about the Fantastic Four run, and how long ago was that? That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But that was good. His X-Men stuff was good. I just kind of stopped reading X-Men in the late 90s, I think. So
right. Here's some great cover. Look at that.
Yep.
That was, I think this was in some ways the pinnacle of comics, for the late 70s, early 80s for sure. And they were doing some great things with the Avengers too. Don't get me wrong. They really were. And he actually went over to Avengers for a while. There's one of your Fantastic Four covers using red very effectively, like you're going to do in your comic.
Yep. Red alert.
And he had a good run on Captain America too, and even brought back the triangular shield. And that Amazing Spider-Man is not a cover done by him, but he in April of 1980, John Byrne did the pencils for 4 titles. the sixth time in 17-month period where he would pull off such a feat, in that he wrote, drew, and did the covers for over 50 different comics. Is there any question about who was the king of the Bronze Age?
Yeah, that's crazy. I'd almost forgotten about his Batman Many Deaths of Batman. Some good stuff.
Interesting. Cockrum was the Marvel cover editor at the time. Yeah. Well, I'm glad we got more banger from that time period. Dave Cockrum covers. Although it would have been cool to see more Byrne covers for sure. But I'm glad we have that era of Cockrum cover. Hello.
Hi.
Hello, Miss America.
First off, May, I just want to say this. What the bloody blank is wrong with you that you
Oh, look at that. Oh, oops, I'm sorry.
you
Go
want to
ahead.
shave your dog after she passes? That's what I was going off on.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. And also, I have to go inside. I have a meeting. But
Oh, okay.
yeah, well, not really a meeting. I am a team captain, and I'm going into play.
Oh, well, enjoy yourself, and thanks for dropping by.
Oh, yes. But, Rex, I was trying to say
Yeah.
a beautiful picture, and you were disturbed, not loser. I was trying to say disturbed for
Yeah.
shaving the dog. Wanting to shave the
Okay.
dog.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just a thought, just a passing thought. I probably wouldn't do it, right? She'll get burial with honors.
Don't shave your dog.
Okay. I'll do it while she's alive. How's that? She's got a pretty skin pattern. She might get cold in the wintertime, so I won't do it this year. It's fine. It's fine. Go have your meeting and enjoy.
All right. Bye-bye.
Paint it. Paint it. All
Wow,
right.
my
So
internet
Shadowbox
is
back.
incredibly shitty today.
Hmm.
All right, are we
He's
good?
back.
Everything all right?
Yeah, you sound great. I mean, one of the greatest voices in broadcasting nowadays. So
Damn, you're full of shit today.
this has been a paid announcement. He had to pay me to say that. Just saying. Okay. So the next thing I want to show is not John Byrne, but Carrie's Harley Quinn that she drew today.
Oh yeah, I just saw this. It's very nice, very nice.
Very nice. Yeah, I can't wait to see that in color. Hopefully. Very cool. Thank you for sending
Now
that to
Carrie's
me.
a line
Carrie.
art purist like me. She's not going to color that thing.
I mean, at least make the lines a little bit more dark so that you can, ink it,
Oh,
whatever.
yeah. Now
And
he
maybe I'm
starts the nitpicking. Good
Okay,
Lord.
my first X-Men comic, my first X-Men comic that I ever bought was this one, I believe, which was one of the wildest things because he warped reality, and that's what really drew me to it. I said, this is so different and off the charts. I've got to give X-Men a try. And then once I read that first story, I was hooked. Because with Nightcrawler and some of the others, I said, this is just too weird. Because, I mean, I was looking at X-Men from issue 122. We talked about this before, where the cover where Colossus is in between the two wedges of the danger room, straight.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. That was the
Yeah,
first
they
one
look
I
like
ever
they're gonna
saw because I had been collecting like 2 years or longer before I ever saw any X-Men books. And I just didn't, that my pharmacy and other place wasn't keeping them.
Yeah.
In August 1979, John Byrne did the pencils for these 4 comics. He also did the cover for Captain America 239 and co-wrote Hulk Annual number 8. He had it in his hands in 6 books in a single month. Insane. Not sure what energy drink he was pounding back, but give me some.
Yeah, you didn't get it.
So he didn't, and I read this. This is a wonderful story where the Fantastic Four have been aged by the Skrulls, and just, I mean, Walt Simonson cover here. Beautiful story. One of the greatest stories, I think, in Fantastic Four ever told. A very short story where they're aging and turning old, except for Johnny. He wasn't turning old. And then Byrne did this wonderful cover. It was doing, the Avengers, which I know Ryan read recently.
Yeah.
And it's often with George Perez stuff. Here you go. Some wonderful layout pages by Byrne. Which the proletariat or the proletarian, that's kind of weird. I need to go back and read that and say, why was Colossus kind of like this character?
Peter he got brainwashed or
Brainwashed?
something by somebody.
Okay.
Yeah, I forget who the villain was that was behind it, but
Yeah.
So
Wonderful Dave Cockrum cover. So Byrne was doing interiors, but Cockrum's still doing the covers early on because according to Marcus, didn't like Byrne's work. But I'm glad we got these wonderful covers from this era of Dave Cockrum.
you're not going to believe this, but I don't think I've ever seen this cover before.
Really? Wow.
Yeah,
How dare you?
that's crazy. Yeah,
Yeah, isn't that great though?
Yeah, no,
That's She-Hulk number
one of
1.
the,
oh,
one of the first ones I collected
Beautiful.
of X-Men back in the day.
Mm-hmm. This was the first time he drew the X-Men.
Byrne?
Marvel
Wow.
team up.
Yeah, I had this.
Look at the old Banshee.
Mhm.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah, I love Banshee, man.
That old Banshee hair.
He still had long hair. Look at that.
And he smoked that pipe. Remember the long pipe?
Oh yeah, that's right. He had the old Irish pipe.
Marvel team up number 53 is that it is the first time John Byrne drew the new X-Men as they give Spidey a lift from their adventure in Team Up Annual number 1. That a double page spread is used for the moment feels like a subconscious awareness to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when this
Storm is
Prestige
beautiful right there.
book came out, Elseworld.
Yep.
He kind of gave almost like Superman used to have a barrel chest, almost Batman, a barrel chest there.
Yeah, he's pretty thick.
Mm-hmm.
I love that Batmobile too.
Oh yeah, old school Batmobile. Yeah. Look at that. They were flying on all cylinders right now with Terry Austin on the
another good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the whole Hellfire saga right before Dark Phoenix.
Wonderful George Perez story. Wonderful story with the Gray Gargoyle, but I love the Gray Gargoyle. He can turn you into stone for an hour with his one hand. Yeah, there you go. Some yellow. And the cool thing about this scene actually is part of the story. Tony Stark and Daredevil are actually at the end of the story before in 191 are turned to stone. But Tony Stark is in armor, so he's not turned to stone, just his armor, so he can still speak. He's still in there.
Yeah,
and
he's
still
just he
conscious.
just can't do nothing.
He just can't do nothing for the next hour, right? And this is again when they turn old and they trying to find a cure, and they're all three aging out except for, I mean, wonderful storyline, one of my favorites ever to read in comics. I can't recommend it high enough. I need to go back and read this. You know, they go up against characters like T-Rex the Tamer and others through trying to cure themselves from growing old. And can I spoil the storyline for you? They actually find a cure, and actually they actually, yeah, yeah, I think we knew that.
Wait, they saved him? No.
They died and somebody skinned them for their, you know,
The
to see the
scrolls
pattern of what was
They
underneath
died
the
and
blood.
they replaced them with clones.
Yeah, the next issue it was 3 scrolls that took their
That
place.
only happens in Hollywood, Dr. Mask. Come on now.
Or in Spidey
I
comics.
like that Reed can't hold it together. Look, he's just all over the place. And that Ben's almost got like a skull-like look on his face. I mean, I guess they, especially Sue, you know, but so they reverse it, and then, you know, because by this point the Fantastic Four had been around in comics for like 20 years, right? And this was a way written in to make them younger. And actually, I still remember the words that Reed says, I think, the dialogue. He said, we might even be more, you know, more powerful and younger than when we first started. And I thought, what a great way to set the clock. Because Reed Richards always had the graying temples, right? So but it was a good way of why the Fantastic Four doesn't have to age for a while, you know, after 20 years.
Yeah, an interesting way of, you know, keeping them vibrant, I guess.
Lab Rats. This was a little known thing that DC did. I've got a few of these, although
I don't think I ever saw this one.
No,
Yeah.
I never read this one.
Well, you know, Shadowhawk forgets that I've shown some stuff there, and I actually had
I didn't say I never saw it. Like I never saw it in the wild. I didn't know it was a comic.
Right. This is this is a Byrne cover, and it is the last. And he was doing the writing, and in the original Amazing Spider-Man, this is the last issue before they rebooted it. The numbering 441. So Byrne got to do the last issue cover. Sort of the end of a Clone Saga story, I think.
So what, did they start over again with a new number 1 after that?
Byrne Blood.
Yeah, Byrne Blood. And you know what happens next? He tries to bite him in the neck, but the chain mail hurts his teeth.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. Yeah.
Like, ow.
And I love that magenta purple, you know, and he's so different from any other vampire out there, you know, with that costume. It's like Bat-Mite and Byrne Blood had a shot, you know. Little black and white for you there.
Oh,
I guess that's one of Darkseid's hellhounds, right?
Yeah. Wow, that's cool.
Isn't that cool? Yeah, I already showed this one. This is a great cover, though. And then this was the second one I got, the next issue. I mean, what wild stuff.
Yeah, it's a great cover.
Yeah, the whole world against the X-Men, you know, because and Polaris back there. You don't get to see Polaris very often.
It's Polaris.
Or Polaris. Okay, well, don't reverse the polarity. Now, this looks like the cover that they used. They wound up with Soda Spaz. That's why she shows up. She likes the way I talk. This looks like the cover of Thing number 1 when he got his own short-lived hero series, doesn't it?
Yeah, quite a bit. Yeah.
Look how easy that is to do. Draw the thing.
Bunch of circles. It's the rock work
Piece of
that'll
cake.
get you.
I could
Right?
do
Throw a bunch of rocks together.
Probably, Galaxy Memorial Park did a riff on this cover. Probably the most riffed cover in history.
Probably.
And you know what I found out recently, Shadowhawk?
What's that?
You are gay. No, I'm sorry.
That's
I had to throw that in there. Byrne did Spider-Man Chapter 1 and Amazing was rebooted. Okay. I mean, did I get that wrong? I don't know. I mean,
dude, that cover right there, when I saw it on the stands, I was like, I was heartbroken because you could see all the already killed X-Men on the little posters in the back.
Yeah, my beast is slain. My
And I
favorite
think
character is dead.
I think Nightcrawler's dead already.
He's dead, yeah. Cyclops
they
is dead.
killed,
Angel
they
and
killed a
Iceman are
bunch of my
dead.
favorite guys. I was like, God, I hate this story.
Scarlet Witch is dead. Banshee's dead. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, a wonderful. What I found out was Days of Future Past is really a riff on a Moody Blues album title.
Oh yeah.
I did not know that.
I never connected the two before, but yeah, I'm aware of the Moody Blues album.
Mm-hmm. Now here you got
That's the one that
Airwalker.
has. It's got this weird intro to this one song where this guy is like he suddenly becomes self-aware.
Mm-hmm.
Kind
of like me every day.
Yeah, so he's like having this interior dialogue where he's like, I think, therefore I must be. And then this like robot voice comes in and says, there you are, oh my bright little star. It's really cool shit. Very dramatic.
Here's an homage cover. And maybe the introduction of the White Vision, right?
Possibly.
I never really liked this look.
I didn't like the White Vision. I like the original colorful.
Yeah. Now there's an effective use.
That's kind of weird for
black
me,
and white and red.
I usually prefer black and white, but.
Mm-hmm. Here's another one in that storyline where they turn old, going up against Terex.
That cover.
I know, right? He's one of my favorite because he's such a douchebag with an axe.
It looks like they got Rex playing not elongated, Mr. Fantastic.
All right, trivia question: do you know who did the bullets up there by the logo? Who the artist is? I've told you before. You can do it.
They're
Tiny. That's what she said. It's so tiny.
Oh shit! I know who this is too.
I want to say Joe Sinnott did the inks at least. I don't know.
Probably, yeah, but that doesn't count, Dr. Mask, because they are. Come on.
You only get a half a point.
You can do it. Half a point for Dr. Mask.
Yeah, right.
You want me to tell you?
Yeah, just tell it.
George Perez.
That's Perez. Wow.
That's Perez. He did the bullets. Yeah.
I should recognize the thing as his, but
yeah. Look at that. Look at that splash page by Byrne.
What?
And they're turning old. Breed's already got white hair. The thing even looks a little thinner here.
Yep.
He still looks formidable, but he looks like he's getting thinner, and less mass.
So this is a good example of how you start a comic, right? I mean, there's not all this sitting around with talking and exposition about what's going on. They get right into the action, give you a little blurb. Hey, this is what happened, and then you're off to the races.
Yeah, but now there is a lot of dialogue on this page, I must say.
Yeah, there's
in the boxes.
The boxes. Yep.
Explanation, because they have to explain, what's happened.
Yep.
I I don't mind that, and it doesn't really interfere with the artwork. That's the great thing about it. You got this wonderful, colorful scene. I mean, look how colorful that is, and but the floor being wide, all the colors are going to pop off that. You know what wonderful sense of design. Look at that. I love when the Sphinx goes up. You know, which kind of came out of Nova. You know, was featured in Nova. Goes up against Galactus.
It was a fun series.
It was great. I mean, you can really tell probably more in his Fantastic Four stuff than his Avengers or X-Men or anything else he did, that he was a really fan of comics. And then he really, Fantastic Four was his jam. I mean, it had to be because it was his first comic book he ever bought was number 5, you know, with the first appearance of Dr. Doom, which I would argue probably had, in my opinion, the second best inker, Joe Sennett. The very first being in issue 13, and for the cover of 14, Steve Ditko over Kirby. But that's just my opinion. I really love Ditko over Kirby.
I moved that to the top of my read list, so I'll let you know.
What's that?
That Fantastic Four that you suggested that Ditko did.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. I absolutely. First appearance of Red Ghost. First appearance of Super Apes and his Super Apes. Now here's some of his early stuff. 1975, Doomsday +1 cover from Charlton. I showed this earlier today. Gotta love the atom bomb. It's sort of a dystopian future.
That's a great cover.
And the coloring, he probably hand colored these pieces himself to do the covers, because you know everything on Charlton was done on the cheap, right? Especially during this era of comics. Now Charlton goes all the way back to the 40s.
Yeah, they say that the paper they used turned yellow as soon as it came off the press.
Yeah. And there's the man himself. Canadian born. This is the back cover to the one shot where the Phoenix lived, almost like a what if story. Dr. Mass, did I ever ask you what your favorite character is? Because my favorite character is right here, the Beast, whether he has hair or not.
Yeah, I'm a Batman guy, so.
Oh, you're a Batman guy. Okay, I guess that we did kind of talk about that. Batman guy. Yeah. Well, you got a lot of material.
I prefer the Blue Beast, though.
Fantastic Four 1 Rift cover here. I always like the backup stories. What if Rich Rider had not lost the power of Nova? And I don't know that John Byrne drew Nova that often, but he got to draw him on this cover.
Yeah.
And I like that it reads disappearing behind the Ditko box. He's coming out of the Ditko box. That's pretty cool. So is Johnny Storm, for that matter.
Yeah. Well,
Marvel Age that he did. There's Tigra. We learned that Gil Kane actually kind of co-created Tigra.
Yeah. One of my favorite characters.
Wonder Man needs a new outfit. This outfit is pitiful.
Yeah, that's bad.
That's bad.
Yeah, they never did give him a very good outfit.
And he's got a mullet. He's got a mullet during this time.
I thought his trench coat and like sunglasses.
Oh, dude, I hated that fucking look.
Really? It's better than this.
I'm a Hollywood director.
Better than this. Yeah. Look at this. This is up in your face and personal.
Yeah, sorry, Cap's gonna fucking have a really bad day.
I would think so, yeah. But I mean, with that shield, I could see him trying to decapitate Logan. Sure, if you can get past
but he's not gonna be able to because the shield's not adamantium. Not back then.
Yeah, but it's not easy. You know how could you decapitate him? One, you couldn't. I mean, his shield is adamantium and vibranium
The new one is. Back in the day, it wasn't. They didn't. They retroed that way later, Rex.
Okay, so, but what is it now?
Well, now, but even so, I don't know if that would be able to cut through. I guess it might be able to cut through.
No, I don't think it would be able to cut through because his neck is his spinal column is covered in adamantium, and
That's what I'm
adamantium is unbreakable.
That's what I was saying.
Although,
because
you know,
his shield is vibranium and adamantium now, I don't know if that would maybe he could dent it.
oh,
I don't
okay.
know.
He was born in England and his family moved to Canada. Okay. When he was a young boy. Didn't know that. Everybody likes to correct the host. That's fine. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's one of my pet peeves when Magneto can extract that out of his skin. If it's unbreakable, it's unbreakable.
Well, yeah, but Magneto could control it like at a cellular level. He turned it back into a liquid.
Fuck me. Okay, I'm not going to win this, am I? I just think if it's unbreakable, it's unbreakable.
It's only unbreakable when it's in its solidified form.
So he liquefies it again.
Right. So he liquefied it first and then pulled it out of his body.
But I mean, the way I've read it is once it sets up, gets hard, that's it. It's in the form it's going to be.
Well, that was always the premise, yes. But apparently, they decided to put a twist in there on that.
Well, see, I've seen Cap's shield broke before, and I'm like, no.
I mean, it's supposed to be. No, you can't break it. It's unbreakable. But then
see,
you
that's
get
a
story
great title,
and
Unbreakable Wolverine. That would be a great title. And for the first cover, I suggest a steamroller rolling over his leg.
It's just 32 pages of the Hulk grabbing Wolverine by the ankle and doing the Loki slam from the first
Doing
Avengers.
the Loki slam. Yeah. Well, I mean, his brains can be jarred loose, right? But they're going to regrow. As long as one cell is there, I think he could come back.
Yeah, they've actually brought him back from just like one cell before.
Now, see, at one point they had a storyline where Wolverine was totally covered in adamantium. How did he get out of that?
That's a good question. I never did see the end of that story. I don't know how they. It seems like
does
they
anybody
painted
know how
themselves
did he
in a
get out of
corner.
the unbreakable adamantium that he was slagged in? And they once did that to Ultron. They covered him in more adamantium, where he would just be a statue at that point. Yeah, and if Ultron is so smart, why didn't he invent nanobots?
Dude, that's what I was just going to say. Unless he had like nanobot technology that could take over the hard parts. Hey, Ethereal Jacket.
Now, is ciao, hello, and goodbye?
Yes, I believe it.
So
it's kind of like aloha.
Okay.
I just discovered that John Byrne did a story in Nightmare magazine, that Skywald book, black and white, kind of like eerie.
Oh, wow.
19.
All right,
yeah, I don't
I'm
know.
already all echoey again, man. I'm gonna pop out. Hey, nice to see you again, Marcus, Dr. Mass. Hey, all in the chat. I'll be in the chat listening, man. I can't. It's too much for me to hear this crap.
Okay.
Hi, man.
You got to get that phone fixed. Got to.
Yeah, I got to get rid of this phone.
Throw it out the window. Go to the dealership. Darn.
I just don't have the money yet.
I got you.
Like,
we might do a stream later, and so I'll send you a link. We'll see. And you can come in if you want. If you want to go to bed, that's fine too. I always love to have you on. Best co-host on YouTube, bar none. I just read The Avengers where Ultron is trapped in adamantium. Yeah, great story, right? I mean, what a way to entrap, a seeming unstoppable. How did he get out? I don't know. How did he get out? Talking about Wolverine.
I'm shaking my head. I don't know if that helps, but
Like in the Golden Age here, he kind of gave Namor a triangular head,
mm-hmm.
the way he drew him, which is really old school, because I mean, the triangular flat top head was quite severe, depending on who drew it. He really looked really mutantfied back in the Golden Age in some issues. Have
Yep.
you seen that?
Yeah, I've seen some of the old. Yeah,
And I never got this. Why did Sue Richards so want to? I get it. He's charming. He's got his own kingdom. He's
that bothered me. That bothered me
Yeah.
as a kid, man. I was like, what?
Yeah, I mean,
she's married to Reed. What's going on?
She's married, but then that's. And what, you're going to go to war and destroy the human race on the land and conquer it? But Sue Richard is the what? Because she's different. She's pink like you. And why are all the other Atlanteans blue? Of course, he's a hybrid, right? He's half human. He's a half breed.
Yep.
Oh, look at this.
Uh-oh.
Oh, look at that. Wow. That's the thing walking in on them. Uh-oh. Here, Namor, I got something for you, and it ain't my cigar. God, I'd hate to have. You talk about now. See, Ryan's going to love this George Perez cover, but I mean, look at the Perez cover. Wow. Count Nefario going all the way back. I think I've got his first appearance in Avengers number 14. I think that's the right. Now I kind of like that red and gold and green riff on Wonder Man's cover there. I know Shadowhawk doesn't like it, and we got the Whizzer. He always had to go to the bathroom, but he did it so quick you didn't know that he actually did it. And then, of course, the Beast being a gentleman, or either that or he's hiding behind a skirt because he knows, maybe Scarlet Witch is the only one that can get him out of the situation of a building falling on him. But now he could bound out of the way. And the wonderful little. Vision phasing through the logo in the box. I always loved that.
Yep.
This was the Dark Phoenix comics, the Dark Phoenix saga for Avengers. Not necessarily this, but this era of Avengers, which was going on about the same time.
Yep.
They had the Korvac saga that was just awesome. I mean, it was cosmic. It was big. It was the Avengers. And that's, and you had George Perez drawing some of it, and you had for a couple stints, and then you had John Byrne come in and do some wonderful work like this as well.
That's a colorful costume right there.
Yeah, and he must be getting stronger because he's got the Reed Richard temple thing, but the colorist didn't get it on the second panel there. It's magically gone, Such expressions. What? Sue did what with who? You. Yeah, Vision's had different days. He's probably sitting there barely thinking, saying, "I wonder if Wolverine's ever had a day like this." Yeah, drunk again. Oh man.
I always liked Yellow Jacket too.
Yeah. Iron Fist, he did some stuff in Iron Fist, of course, this being Gil Kane, that we featured first, but interior work there by John Byrne. Early John Byrne into Marvel.
Love that first panel.
50 years ago today was the release. Of course, this was July 8th. Today saw the release of John Byrne's first full-length publication for Marvel. Marvel Premiere number 25 was also the first pairing of Byrne and the writer Chris Claremont, the two of whom would go on to unleash an iconic run on the X-Men a few years later. So this was the first book, first full-length run for John Byrne, and the first pairing with Chris Claremont. So that is quite a seminal issue. There we go. I have Havoc in there now.
I always loved that costume too.
Oh yeah, the yellow and blue, or with
No,
Havoc.
the Havoc's costume.
Oh yeah,
when he, when he
different
uses his
from-
power.
Yeah. And Logan having some coffee or something, just a down moment.
Hmm.
But the dialogue's going on, and they're getting ready to square off. And he flips.
Didn't take
Wolverine
much to get
one
back
day.
into the drama, did it?
No. You killed my mother. What a great tactic though to fire a force beam at Colossus and ricochet it and hit Logan with
Mhm.
it, And you got to give Cyclops props. He's to get that close to Wolverine, who's stunned, and flip him, because all
Right.
he has to do is get his claws into his side, and he's dead,
Yep.
or severely hurt.
He's got no chainmail.
Yeah. No, not like Captain America, and that only works against vampires. Here's a comparison between a great Kirby cover, which I'm sure was an influence on John Byrne.
Hmm. John's a
I always
superior.
like the larger than life villains over the village and over the heroes,
Yep.
where the Fantastic Four look like Micronauts. This land is mine.
You see that on those, like the mysterious traveler and the hosts looking bigger than life, or kind of in the background but big, kind of thing. Like the
Well, I
Spectre
guess that's
too.
been done since the pulp era,
Yeah.
Or even political. This is the Eternal Brain. He appeared in Red Raven #1 in 1940, but John Byrne used him in a series also. Does anybody know where the Eternal Brain, what series that was in that John Byrne used? Don't know. Who owns Red Raven? That would be DC, wouldn't it? You got me on that one. That's a
Yeah, I don't
that's
even
a
recall.
stumper for even
I don't
Dr.
even recall the Red Raven. So
Oh, Red Raven, yeah. Kirby did that.
okay,
There we go. Some more
looking good.
sexy She-Hulk. Although I prefer the Savage She-Hulk. And she was more like, and I think they should do a storyline where she's savage again on the rampage, like, the Hulk. Dumb her down again.
I
Whoa.
don't.
Grabbing Wyatt Wingfoot's ass.
Anything happened to those buns, huh?
I think Red Raven was a timely character. Okay, so
Okay.
Marvel. Yeah.
I'm just thinking of the Red Guardian. That's all I can think of.
One through 15. Well, obviously he wrote more than that if he wrote 25, didn't he? I'd have to consult. I do have an Iron Fist. To this day, that's my most expensive Marvel Essential, which some of those are out of print and become collectible. I spent $50 on Iron Fist #1.
Wow.
And the only reason is I bought some production artwork and I needed a reference. And the money went to charity. It was a teacher selling it. So she was happy. I'm sure I wasn't too happy to spend $50 on an essential book, but
Right.
which I could later and probably today buy it for $20 somewhere. But it was the only one on eBay. So what are you going to do?
Yep.
You know, caught me at a bad time. And you know what was worse about that story, Dr. Mass? The production artwork was fake.
Oh no.
And I had to return it. And that was over $800. That was a big purchase for me of stuff.
Dang.
And I complained and got my money back just in time. Somebody said, "Look at this. This is not real. This is fake." See where he took Ernie Chen's name and whited it out? These are heritage photos. I'm like,
Wow.
okay. So basically he was taking like photos, glossy like things. I'd never seen production artwork like this. Alarm should have went off, right? It's not the only time I bought fake production artwork, but not very many times. Okay, thankfully. And it was like taped with tape on a cardboard backing. I'd never seen it before, and I should have known. A lot of people don't know production artwork.
I bought a few pieces off of eBay, and that basically the way it was put out there was that they had signed a contract to do these like prints or cells or something,
Mm-hmm.
and they started making them. The contract fell through, so that there was like a whole bunch of these things that they never used. So I bought like 4 of them. I have like an Iron Man, I have a Batman, I have a couple of Archie ones,
Mm-hmm.
and they kind of look like a Cell type thing, but I have no idea whether they're authentic or not, or what they were from, or anything. They just look cool, and they weren't super expensive. So,
Did you get in the early '90s? That you said Cell, and that reminded me of the old acetate cells
yep.
that came out that Marvel put in with comics in poly bags. Did you ever get any of those?
Yeah, I'm sure I had some and have since gotten rid of them. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually opened up one of those because I've got some polybag stuff, and I said, "Yeah, I'm going to take this out." And I took it out on stream. Had 2 sales. The
Oh,
same
nice.
thing, but it had 2. Yeah, I thought 2 for good. They stuck together. Whatever.
It's like those multiple covers,
jackpot. September 1977, John Byrne did the pencils for these 4 books. The first 6 times he would do such a feat. In 6 months, that's 24 comics, which is several years worth of work for lesser mortals. Maybe you don't love him, but you have to respect the output. All hell. So
what was Kirby doing? I mean, he was doing a ton of stuff too when he was in his prime.
well, I know he did some Avenger covers. He was doing all kinds of stuff.
Mhm.
Oh, you mean the output?
The output, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he had a good run on Marvel Team Up. I was unaware of this Power Man. That's a lighter Power Man, number 48.
Yeah, I had that one. Yeah.
Yeah, with John Byrne inside. I mean, were you ever drawn to artwork of an artist? I mean, that's what got me started was seeing George Perez. I was just drawn to his artwork.
Yeah, I'm sure that was some of it and a subconscious thing, but I don't think I ever went and looked. And I mean, it's just like, oh, this is a cool cover, or this is a cool looking character. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, people ask me all the time, hey, what was the first comic you ever owned or whatever? And I just don't remember because I always had comics. Like I could just remember as a kid, I always had like a stack of comics. So it's tough to say.
Look at that. I almost see, and okay, somebody's going to get on to me for this, but I can see a little Todd McFarlane. Almost. Like if Todd McFarlane was designing and doing this, So was Todd influenced by John Byrne? I don't know.
I would say probably have to be, but
Yeah. John Byrne and Tom Palmer on
I'm not
X-Men: The
familiar.
Hidden Years.
I'm not
That was
familiar with what Todd McFarlane cites as his influences.
John Byrne's legendary career found him often producing multiple comics per month. He was the most prolific of his era. He actually managed to deliver 2 comics, Fantastic Four and Alpha Flight, on the exact same week for 16 straight months, from May 1983 to August of 84. There's Frankie Ray as the
Yep.
Herald of Galactus.
Nova. The other Nova.
I think that if they're going to do a female, yeah, if they're going to do, I had my comic shop when this one came out. Yeah, I always thought that I missed this one on the stands. This was actually one I missed, and I think it's kind of a phoned in cover for me. But I mean, it works, but it's for Byrne, it's kind of. I mean, at least on this one, he has to, all those shards of glass. He has to draw that.
Yep.
Marvel Perfection, the spinner rack. Yeah, here we go. Here's one. I had to throw this one in there.
Yeah.
Early Byrne cover.
It's one of my favorites there. That Marvel premiere.
Yeah. Did the interior work on this one as well? And where are these great characters? This magenta, brutish looking, whatever happened.
I don't know.
You see these great one issues and you think, man, this is going to go down in history and live forever. And you never see them again. Look at that piece. I love whoever colored this. That's nice.
That's a great
So is
cover
it fair
too.
to say that he probably had one of the most successful runs on Fantastic Four for a couple years?
Yep.
They definitely carried and if you look down there by the word Richards, right there in the bottom right-hand corner, there's Charlie Brown.
That's awesome. I don't know if I ever noticed that.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
And again, effective use, you got some blue there, but effective use of red.
Yep.
You could learn a lot from John Byrne if you're going to stick with the black and white and red motif, just saying. I never got any of this because this stuff, his stuff, or Gil Kane's for that matter in the Iron Fist, which, these characters that had kung fu powers, I really wasn't that interested in, although I'm sure this was an awesome run, especially the Byrne issues. But this is before I started collecting, so I missed it.
I think I liked Iron Fist more because he was more, he had some powers where
was he
like
done
Master
good
Kung
on
Fu.
Netflix? He really wasn't, was he?
No.
Probably the best thing that came out of that was Daredevil, right?
Yep.
Maybe that's the eternal mind. I don't know. There's a brain there. Something going on. But what a dramatic full page, layout.
Yep.
He makes it look so effortless. Even got a child there. See his child? Looks like Mongoloid. Anyway, mutant power. Sorry. Okay. Here's the time. And I never thought this looked like Stan Lee.
I mean, you could tell it's him, but yeah.
Well, he's supposed to be this cheesy producer, right? Now he pulls that off. But I don't know that he looks like Stan Lee too much. Somebody had to tell me that it was Stan Lee. And I was like, oh, okay. Well,
I would just assume it was the gray on the sides and the glasses,
Here's some more from that issue where he first drew the X-Men. whoever inked that issue really put an edge, was going for the Dave Cockrum looking, look for Nightcrawler where his face is in shadow, which I always loved. I mean, you got blue skin, you're going to cast some shadow, right? Look at those eyes of Cyclops. Great cover. Wood God. There's an obscure character from Kirby you don't get to see on a cover that often. Wood God. There you go. You know what makes this a badass piece, Dr. Mask?
The cigar.
He's in a fuel depot.
Yeah, there you go.
He's going to come out okay. He
That's
can
right.
regrow, like we said. As long as, look at that, just slashing at air. He can even make air bleed.
Yeah, that's right. He's like Chuck
But
Norris.
it's black blood. Now, he did do a few G.I. Joe covers. This one from 1986. Mike Zeck did some nice G.I. Joe covers, too. A Real American Hero.
Yep. He did that Wolverine cap cover, too, right?
Now, this is a
Famous one.
recreation, from Byrne and Austin in the Danger Room. Set at maximum. Oh, my gosh. Even got Iceman in there with those big clamps. Going to make him into ice cubes. That's cool. Gary Martin did that recreation. And this is an awesome book. Got to recommend this. Used to have this, no longer. Again, he must have hand colored this. I always liked when Perez and Byrne sort of hand colored stuff with markers because it gave it such an organic feel. $5.95 was a lot of money for me to spend. And Marcus, you actually posted that June 9th. So thanks for that. And this is a little known one. And that one's actually signed down there. OMAC, 4 issues. That's issue 1. Another great Kirby cover. I mean, probably the first, besides the Indians, right? Probably the first. This is a bad day for Logan. That's got to be the title here. Now, see, I don't think Hulk could snatch his head off because adamantium is unbreakable. But surely he could, skin it down to the skull.
Right.
Pull the flesh off. Yeah. But he couldn't crack the skull open to get to the brain, just saying.
I would assume it would hurt.
Yeah. Now, here's a great Fantastic Four splash page. Look at that.
Zone.
Into the negative zone. Great logo. And just, wow. Can you imagine?
I can't imagine drawing that.
Yeah, and I mean, he was probably doing 5, 6 other titles at the time, along with it. I mean, the guy was a beast in his
Never
day.
slept.
Yeah. Another great George Perez cover. I mean, I was loving it. Getting George Perez covers and getting John Byrne on the inside. Although I was like, I wish George Perez would do the insides too, because I was a Perez fan.
I love Whirlwind too.
I do
Look at
too.
that. That's a great yellow jacket there. I love that.
Yeah, it is. I mean, to see the power through his wings, and I've actually got a John Byrne, couple drawings of Yellow Jacket.
Nice.
That I hope to put in a book someday. There's that costume for Wonder Man again.
That's just
and he and the Beast kind of had a wonderful, relationship.
Do you remember the one that was like late? I don't know if it was late 80s or whatever, but he had like a red trench coat and like red glasses.
Oh yeah. It was his Hollywood look.
Yeah, that one was. I mean, that one's better than the other one, but it's still not good. There you go.
Attitude, right? It's Friday. Is he giving you the finger without really giving you the pinky finger? There we go. How posh. Comic Journal artwork. So cool. Number 57, if you're looking for that one. Did you ever pick up Comic Journal or Comic Scene or any of those about comics,
Not
Dr. Matt?
not really. I think the few that I did pick up, the reading was so daunting. I'm just like, I'll just go read a comic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm much more interested in the history and the process now than I was then. But
did you like it, John Byrne's run on Captain America?
I'm trying to remember. I'm sure I read some of them. Is that got that? Did he do that cover where Cap's like tied to the chimney or whatever?
Don't quite remember that one. And Mike Zeck had a good run on that too.
Yeah, Zek's cap was good. His
Bring the
Deathlock
family
covers
over
are
for
some of my
Christmas.
favorite.
Huh?
I said Zek's Deathlock covers with Cap. I think they were on Cap.
Oh
I
yeah.
love those.
I like that character Vermin. Remember Vermin?
Yep.
Looked like a rat.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. He did the Suicide Squad in Legends. This was the first. Byrne got it to do Legends right after Crisis. This was really the first big DC thing after Crisis.
Mm.
Sin for the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, Crisis and this was after that. This was before I was into DC a lot. You know, I would read Batman. That was about it.
Yeah, Amanda Wallach made her first appearance in Legends. That limited series. That was the limited series and mini series, and sometimes one issue they would call micro series. That's really micro, one issue. Instead of calling it one shot. Did you like John Byrne's Batman? And here's George Perez and John Byrne back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely liked his run on it.
Byrne liked to sit by Perez just to draw him as Wolverine, because look at that shag carpeting hair. My God. The wild and woolly 80s and 70s. Wow.
Do you know who that's sitting in front?
Yeah, that's only because it's here. Right, Ralph Macchio, right?
Ralph Macchio. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And do you know who did that Batman in the background? That's Standy. Who the artist is?
You're killing me today, aren't you?
Yeah. I mean, to test the old brain cells, or at least the synapses. Okay, I'll tell you. It's Carmen Infantino.
Okay.
Classic. Yeah, classic. And he did a double cover. I never knew this. I bought them kind of individually. So here's the left side in the traditional Spidey cover.
Mm-hmm.
And then the black side.
Oh, the black suit. Yep.
Yeah.
That's
so what a cool double cover. Spider-Man title and Amazing Spider-Man title. Two different titles. So I didn't mind this when you did like 1-2 crossover. So to maybe, hey, if you like Amazing Spider-Man, maybe you'll like Spider-Man. And if you're reading Spider-Man, maybe you'll like Amazing Spider-Man.
Right.
I didn't mind that. It's when things went on and on and on. November that month saw the release of these 3 books, all drawn by John Byrne. In a matter of weeks, Byrne would produce 3 to 4 books a month, nearly 20 times in his first few years at Marvel. Let me know when you want to change the name from the Bronze Age to the Byrne Age. Another great.
Yeah, love that one.
Now I have to look at this. Is this Dave Cockrum or is this John Byrne cover?
Looks more like Cockrum to me, but
number 109. I think it's one of those Cockrum covers before he.
Cockrum did the corner box too, didn't he?
Yeah, he was doing the little heads up there in the corner box at first, and then Byrne did his own. And then Byrne did the Avengers, which I own the Avengers page there till it was destroyed. Oh, the agony of defeat. Here's a lighter Power Man too. I think the next issue.
Who's this
I think
guy?
we looked at 48. This is 49. Who knows? Power Man had some weak, and they were all black. What's up with that? Racism. Just saying. I actually have a graded one of this, CG graded copy of this, Arcane.
Murder World was such a great concept.
Yeah. Did you like this iteration of Captain Britain with the mask over his face?
I never got into Captain Britain at all.
Yeah.
But I think it's a cool design.
Of course, he made big headlines when he started doing Superman. I actually followed that with Austin doing the inks.
Yep.
You got to love that. That's a throwback to the X-Men days. Have Terry Austin over Byrne because I think that made Terry Austin one of my favorites, for inking. Moving on, no commentary. What a great layout, though, huh?
I know it.
Yeah. And what I love about this is scale, right? Look at Hulk compared to like Sasquatch or Man.
Right. Yep.
And then where's
like he knows
Puck?
what he's doing.
Where's Puck? I don't even see Puck.
He's so short you can't see him.
He's under the table. He even made Time magazine. Now, come on, that's a high benchmark, right, for comics.
Back then, maybe.
Jerry Ordway on the inks.
Yeah, I can see that.
Hey, not everybody gets to do Time magazine.
Nope, that's true.
Yeah. I loved his Banshee, over there at DC.
Yep.
Superman did not reverse the Skull's, aging process. Aged out. Dr. Octopus, he was very early on. Peter Parker, done by John Byrne. I missed this one. I totally missed this one on the stands. King size annual number 13. That's one thing that Marvel did right. They had the annuals. Of course, DC did too and called them something else. But look at this run, man. Look at these covers, folks. Why wouldn't you want to buy this comic? This is good stuff. Great, epic stuff. I mean, they were finally taking B-list characters like the Living Lightning and the Lethal Legion and ramping it up and Count Nefario and actually making them badasses. This was great stuff. And look at that. This is the UK version, 12 pence. I would have gladly, I don't know what 12 pence is, Dr. Matt, but I would have gladly gave 12 pence for these. Shit. This is good stuff. This
Probably
is
around 30 cents, huh?
Yeah. That another great cover by John Byrne, one of his early covers. Yeah, I always and I always loved this. I don't think he did the interiors, but he did this wonderful cover for the Hulk annual. And this is great too. Red Sonja.
Yep. And the silhouette of Thulsa Doom, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a great one.
And I always like Union Jack over Captain Britain any day.
Yeah,
Russell
I agree.
Meek has that wrong. He likes Captain Britain. I'm like, nah. Sorry. Look at that. That must be on Counter Earth, right? Come
I don't
on,
know if I
Abby.
ever followed that Warlock stuff.
Yeah, this is just wrong. That's wrong. Look, he's going after Sue too. I'm going to tell Namor on you. Damn Canadians, can't trust them. This is toward the end of his run on X-Men. I think Terry Austin did that cover. Wonderful splash page. Abby, give it a rest. My goodness. Avengers 165. Look at that. Look at the power of that. The Kirby crackle. Zablam. Zax. I don't even know how you say that.
Zact.
You got to get the K sound in there.
Yeah.
You know,
Zact.
Day of the God Slayer. What a great title. Look at that.
Black and white.
Black and white. Original. I wonder what that's worth nowadays. Jeez. Yeah. Just that any of that exists is amazing. Look at that Wonder Woman.
Yep.
Guy Gardner, he can suck it. I'd never liked Guy Gardner. What, too soon? Man of Steel. I don't know. This Lex Luthor, yeah,
Not a
bring
fan.
back the bald Lex Luthor. He just looks like a pithy businessman. You know, I don't know. Iconic cover. He would use a couple of times, actually. And even Clint Hilinski ripped this cover off. Well, homaged it. Great cover, though. Look at that. Look at that. Century. Is that character's name, Century? I forget.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that guy. Yeah.
You forgot him? Yeah, he was basically Superman with a mohawk.
Right.
From the stars. And we often forget Superman is an alien. He needs a green card. I'm just saying. Nowadays. Don't hate on me. Wonderful piece. Love the color. Look at that. Alpha Flight. What'd you think about Alpha Flight? And what about Box there? The little guy in the big suit.
I liked Alpha Flight.
All right. What about the infamous Snowbird issue where there's only dialogue for like 7 pages?
I thought that was neat.
Yeah, I thought it was innovative. I think I used to own this poster. I'm not sure.
Was that before or after the Storm Shadow silent issue?
Oh, you just had to ask me that, didn't you?
I'm just wondering who came up with it first, you know?
Yeah. As long as you put the beast in the front, I'm happy with it. That's good. He's a founding member of the X-Men. Come on. That's wonderful, though. I miss these big posters where they cram in like 30,000 characters.
Yeah.
George Perez could do it. John Byrne could do it. Oh, look, he even got Wendigo over there. And he gave him the big nose. Like the old style Wendigo, where he had this big honking nose in front. Look at these. Look at that. That's me entering the office on a Monday. You called me in for what? How dare you? Oh, no. The lighting. Oh! Ex-wife. Oh. And we'll get to this guy later. Okay.
Franchise.
Who this is. Okay. Yeah. I actually bought this one fairly recently. I think last year when I found out about it. I think I've got a copy of that.
Hammer of
I didn't realize he did this cover, you know. That's not going to hurt Luke Cage. It's just going to piss him off. And who has sledgehammers on their fists for fists? I always thought this was this psycho, you know, deal with your emotions character. Jerry Ordway over John Byrne. I like Jerry Ordway, don't get me wrong, but you know, I thought that was a weaker point than his own inks. you know, in that run. There we go. We got an old Reed again. What's with the old Reed? He bought right back old Reed. Is he going down in the Lazarus pit? No, that's Batman. Look at
He's all
that. Look at
confused.
that. Look at that scale. Look at that. Nobody could torture characters like Byrne. No. I think Anakin did that once. Anyway, love this issue. I actually had the cover, production cover to this at one point. Look at that. Bob McLeod doing the inks on this one, I think. No, it's Bob Wycheck. My mistake.
Okay.
Yeah. Wycheck has done a lot of stuff. We haven't. Yeah. Now talking of that character, there you go. I remember when this came out. More Avengers. Is this what we're really looking for? You know, but I liked it. I thought it was offbeat. I loved it. You know, I just was glad that, you know, we got Al Milgrom off the West Coast Avengers and Byrne was doing it. And remember the, you know, we all talk about Dark Phoenix. What about Dark Scarlet Witch?
Yeah, I don't remember that.
You know, oh God, you missed a good one. I always love the Sentinels. Look at the baddies.
Yep.
Where did you put the screwdriver? I need out of this thing. I need to go to the restroom again. And one of the greatest closers in a comic book. Don't give me the side-eye, Abby. We'll be done here in a minute. Another great without the logo. Great issue. I mean, you can almost see the Kirby influence on his run on the covers, right?
Yeah, I love this cover. I think it's nostalgia for me. I just remember this as a kid.
It takes me all the way back to Hanna-Barbera Fantastic Four cartoon.
Yeah,
it gives me a good vibe. I love this, and Diablo was in that original animated series. Which I wish they would come out with the master edition, but they never will for licensing purposes. They would rather you forget about it. You didn't see anything. Hey, Caleb, thank you for dropping the link. I like Byrne's X-Men and Fantastic Four. Okay, I'm never letting you on the show again. Jeez. Okay, that's fair. Whatever. Yeah, I love that too. It's got the old pulp feel to it. Look at that.
Yep.
You know who I would have liked him to draw more of? Doctor Strange and Mephisto, you know, together. That would have been he could have pulled that off. Look, there's Frankie Ray before she became the Herald of Galactus, another ginger. When you could be a ginger and not get criticized too heavily. You think you got big balls. Okay, you couldn't see it, but it was there. I swear. Love this character. Thundra, one of my favorites. Great John Byrne cover. Feel the power. I like that she's beating up on the disabled. You know, he's already hurt. His arm's in a sling, but she doesn't care. And this is when Perez, who did the thing up there in the Bullet, I don't know who did the Thundra up there in the Ditko box, but very nicely done. She doesn't get enough play. And she was actually a Fantastic Four member, I think, back in the day. Here you go. You got Perez insides here, and you got Byrne cover. How cool is that? Great Perez stuff. As you know, as much as I love Byrne, Perez, it's early Perez, and I really like the early Perez better than the later, more refined Perez stuff. So I got to make that little caveat. And how about the black giant man that dies of cancer? You got to love that
Goliath,
character.
yeah.
Goliath, yeah. He look at that, got the thing down on the ropes. I ain't gonna twist your head off, you Rocky. You know, hey, Rocky. Love it, man. Love it. Look at that. It's almost dinner time, Dr. Mask. What are you gonna have for dinner?
It's past dinner. I'm having some sausage with hot
Ooh.
peppers.
Oh wow. There you go. There's an original. There's your head.
There's
pieces.
the corner box, yeah.
Yeah. Can you imagine owning that? Now I had his Avengers, and it had a lot more than this on there. You know, because all this is comped in. Although it looks like he drew it together because it was such a small team. But now the Avengers was like a whole page of just individual heads. Man, I wish I still had that. This is the original proposed Neil Adams cover that they didn't use. In some ways, it might have been superior to the one they did use, which was this one, where he's and really he should have went the extra mile and started cracking the logo, you know,
Yeah.
like Byrne would later do.
I like the concept of having them attached to the logo, but I don't know if it works.
You seen that one where the Hulk is like on top of the logo of the Inhumans, and he's got the Hulk, you know, bearing the burden of the logo on his back.
Yep. That was
Do
cool.
you think that one works?
Yeah, I think that one does.
Yeah.
I just think the first one is just way busy.
Jim Steranko. Yeah. Oh, you okay, so you mean this one here where they're actually on the logo.
Right.
Kind of crucified or tied up, you know.
Yeah, it would have almost been better if the logo was bigger and more in the center, and but I like the concept of it.
Well, I mean, especially back in the 60s when, you know, because Neil Adams was trying to shake things up, I think, you know, and the X-Men weren't selling too good, and even Neil Adams couldn't save it from being canceled, which it really wasn't canceled. They just kind of went into new covers or reprints, you know, for a while till the new X-Men came in. Now, this was this was a unique one-shot Heroes for Hope, starring the X-Men. Bernie Wrightson, Jeff Johns, John Byrne, Terry Austin, Frank Miller, Al Williamson, Walt Simonson, Art Adams, and Jim Starlin all donated their talents to raise money for famine relief. And we bought multiple copies of this. I've still got a whole bunch of them. And you could probably find it in the $5 bin nowadays. You know, great Art Adams cover.
Yep. That was like, what was the one that was here?
Another one cover.
The one that DC did. Wasn't that Heroes for Hope? Heroes? No, what the heck was it? I just remember Lex
I know which
Luthor.
one you're talking about for Ethiopia.
Yeah, Lex Luthor's on the cover with the sand, you know, with the in the desert, and
This comic book made me cry when Jean Grey died. I've talked to other collectors that said, yes, I cried at it too. And I was like in junior high when I read this. I was an older reader. I'd been not reading for several years up to that point, right? At least 5 years, probably. But no comic book death touched me like this one, because Claremont had built this up for like over 2 years. And when this character died, I felt Scott's pain, you know, even though I think she's kind of a weak character. I know I'm going to catch some heat for that. I'm trying to be more controversial with the show, you know. Man of Steel. Seen that this artwork here was used on the Comic Book Journal. You never did tell me, did you? Maybe you did. Did you read many things like Comic Journal or Comic Scene or anything like that about comics besides
I
the
mean,
comics themselves?
yeah, the closest I got was like Wizard Magazine.
Okay. Yeah, that was
Or
a biggie.
do you
Highly
remember Heroes?
recommend these ICG indexes.
Do you remember Hero Magazine? It was like the Wizard
Hero, yeah,
knockoff.
fan magazine. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There's several out there. See, he even loves the DC characters, like
Yep.
Doom Patrol. Beast Boy is purple? What the? Get it right. He's green. He's changeling. Look at that. He did some great Doom Patrol, too. If
Yeah.
it's retro, he kind of likes it, you know? I'm convinced of that. This is Dan Lawless's Sasquatch. Good
Mm.
job, Dan.
Yep.
He almost looks like sinister Mr. Hyde. You know, I'd like to see the Bionic Man go against this character.
There you go.
Yeah, kind of reminiscent of Bigfoot, right? Man, look at the power.
Same.
I haven't got much room for a sound effect, so just pow. You know, like Batman, 1966 Batman, pow, lifting the Hulk off his feet.
Gets the point across, doesn't he?
Yeah, and just pisses him off. Basically, I don't want to be around. You know, the bi-coastal Avengers. Oh my God! You know?
Do you remember that funny What If comic they did? It was just like page after page of spoofs on different Marvel stories or whatever.
Yeah, where on the cover, the Watcher was dressed in a dress doing the Marilyn Monroe number.
Yeah.
I've
There's
got
one in
multiple
there.
copies. Hit me up.
What if the Avengers moved to Toledo, Ohio? Like,
Now we talked
what do you
about the
want
yellow and blue costume here with the red belt. So we got all primary colors. Did you like the brown sort of yellow ochre that came afterwards?
Yeah, I mean that's the one I kind of grew up on.
Yeah.
But I like this one.
Now Wolverine, should his arms be exposed, his hairy arms, or should they be covered?
I don't think it matters.
Don't think it matters. Yeah. I can't wait till this comes out. It's going to be great.
Yep. Yeah, I haven't bought anything from Marvel or DC in the last like 5 or 6 years. So,
but you'd buy this.
I would buy this. Yeah.
Yeah. Batman against Captain America. Who wins?
Batman every time.
Because he's more of a strategician, right? Or whatever.
Because he's Batman.
Because he's Batman, right? I like Zatanna going up against Scarlet Witch. That's a good matchup.
That would be good.
She-Hulk's like, come down here, you bitch. How dare you levitate? How the hell does she fly? I don't know. How does Wonder Woman glide?
You didn't watch that second Wonder Woman movie? I thought they talked about that.
Oh, 1984? I did see it once.
It was awful. It was awful.
Yeah. Invisible plane, though. Pretty cool. That's Kitty Pryde getting stuck for once. Oh, no. I just faced through the, and got something in her gut.
Robin.
Yeah. Later, boys. Yeah, I just didn't like that Wonder Man costume. That's awful. Oh, yeah. He also had a good run on Namor. Although I think this was kind of his more ink my own stuff, phone in, I mean, it was good.
Yeah, I never got into Namor too much, so.
Yeah. I would look at that, man, with the buzzsaw going to take her head off. Because that's that.
The headman or
the headmen or whatever from the Defenders. Yeah.
Yep.
You hadn't seen them in a while.
Nope.
The guy back there looking like Prune Face from Dick Tracy. Oh, this was a great one shot.
Oh, yeah.
Tom Palmer inks over John Byrne.
Tom Palmer's great.
Cowabunga, dude. Let's go surfing the cosmos, eh? Get the Canadian in there.
The team up you didn't know you wanted. TMT.
Jack Kirby pinup back in the day. These were always fun.
Yep.
And that was kind of carried on by John Byrne.
Yep.
Look at Franklin. I mean, does that look like a normal kid? It looks like Charlie Brown. Fuck. At least, look, at least Sue made Ben a sandwich. Do you think he really made his own sandwich? No. She was the slave to the other three. Let's forward. Well, maybe not Johnny. And yeah, remember when Galactus was styling in green and red?
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
When he first came out. Yeah, they had to work on that. Okay. With pink
They
hands.
can't all be hits. They can't all be hits, you know.
Look at this double page spread. He did a good Hulk.
That's
I
great.
like his Hulk because I like his musculature. You know,
Right.
how he drew him. I mean, look at those fingers. If he just did a hand, look how expressive. That's awesome.
Almost as good as Ditko.
Yeah, don't get snarky on it. Now, this was his first Fantastic Four issue. I actually bought this last year. I actually bought it originally on the stands, but I had to have this one. You know, are you a Herbie fan? Are you one of those?
No, not really.
Yeah, another great John Byrne cover here.
Yeah.
And
He
there's
was in a
John
TV
Byrne.
show too, wasn't he?
There's your Scarlet Witch going all, you know,
Yeah.
Phoenix, Dark Phoenix.
That's a great cover.
Yeah, I mean, have you read this? This is, I know
I
Ryan did.
recognize this cover, so I probably did at one point.
Okay, you know what? She's badass, especially, and she really lost it. And then we skipped one. There we go.
Giant Man.
He was doing the interior. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I had almost a full run of these and a full run of the Marvel team up.
I like the team. Well, I like 2-in-1 over team up. My personal preference, because I like the Thing more than I do Spider-Man.
Yeah, I think I probably like the Spider-Man better, but Brave and the Bold was superior to both. So,
Again, Tom Palmer over. Now,
that's beautiful.
Did you like? And this is unfair of me to ask of you, Dr. Mass. Did you like his Marvel stuff better than his DC stuff, John Byrne?
Probably his
I
Marvel
gotta go
stuff.
with Marvel. Come on.
Probably his Marvel stuff.
Yeah,
I didn't read Superman, so I can't. That's a cool homage cover, I guess.
Mm-hmm. He later did it here in Danger Unlimited. I
never read that one. I read Next One, but
it's worth. Yeah, it's great. You know, it's worth a look. And then another one, I love this series, X-Men The Hidden Years. Didn't run for like 21, 22 issues, but it was great. And I'm trying to complete it right now. Here you go. Here's some more. That one. I mean, Fantastic Four was the first Marvel comic book, so why not riff on it?
Right.
I wonder if he ever found a back issue, because he started with issue, 5. Now, I love this cover. Of course, Ant-Man, one of the first characters in Marvel Universe, and a founding Avenger. What a wonderful cover there.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my all-time favorites. I mean, if you don't have this issue, you need to get it.
I know I've read it.
Yeah, you read it. Yeah, Red Sonja.
Yeah.
That. Curvy. All right, going to eat. See ya, Ethereal Dragon. See, we hit the 2-hour mark.
Yeah, that's
so we could go on and on and on, Dr. Mask, but you probably need to eat those peppers.
Yeah. Sausage and peppers.
Sausage and peppers while a meal. Yeah, that would mess with me all weekend long.
Really?
You know what I mean? Yeah. I know where I'll be, streaming less and streaming more, but only in the bathroom.
Yeah.
I hate that. So anyway, we're gonna get out of here. Hope you enjoyed the very first episode, and hopefully next Friday you'll be able to come back. If not, fine. I'll send you the link anyway. If you can, you can. You can always come in late. We play it fast and loose here.
So What are we talking about next week?
Look, I'll let you suggest who we're going to talk about.
Okay.
What artist?
Do you want a choice? You want a selection or?
No, just
Oh,
first name that comes. Come on.
Ditko is always my first choice.
There you go. Steve Ditko next week. Why not? We'll eventually
There's a
get
lot
to
to
that.
talk about him.
We'll eventually get to that Packer called Jack Kirby.
Yeah.
You know, Apex says great stream. Thank you. Ant-Man with Byrne on pencils and Bob Layton inking. Yeah, right?
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a Bob Layton fan too. You know, I like his stuff too.
Yep. He's a
Loved
good
his
dude. Too.
Hercules. He did the Origin of Galactus one shot. Loved his Hercules, you know.
So
I mean,
Bob, I have a Bob Layton story.
Okay.
So when he was, hopefully I'm not confused here, but when he was in Valiant, when he was in Valiant, you know, he was the CEO or whatever he was at the time. you don't remember that?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Okay.
CEO.
So
Yeah.
so I was
That's
at so at the time I was super into Valiant, and I had taken a Toy Biz Cyclops figure and resculpted it and repainted it as Solar, the Man of the Atom. And then I made a packaging up for it and everything, and I put it in the package, and I when I went to the show and he was there and I showed it to him, I'm like, oh, I made this up, and he's like, oh, he goes, I'll trade you. So he traded me an Exo Man of War Gold Zero or whatever for my action figure. So I wonder if he still has it, but
I bet he does. I bet he does. You know, it might be in storage, molding, but you know.
Yeah. So, but that
Look,
was
you're
cool,
going to be more
cool
famous
experience.
than him one day anyway, Dr. Matt.
Yeah.
So anyway, can I get you to say the magic words so we can get out of here and go eat peppers and sausage?
Peace out.
Okay. That'll have to do. Keep collecting. Jeez, some people.
Right.